Take that.
My beam attack is pretty much a little bit more effective than my spell. A little bit. Nice. There doesn't seem to be any guidance as to how to handle these statues. Do they all have to be pointing in the same direction? This one's pointing there.
We've got company.
Behold the wrath of the dead!
Don't upset the Morn Watch.
Oh, I see. I see.
There's a fight ahead.
Boom. This one I think needs to be pushed a little bit. There.
Come forth!
Ready.
There we go. We're going to change up the party and bring back Harding and Valara since they make the more sense. More sense here in the crossroads. Okay. Do that before I forget.
Look at the windows. You can imagine the colors in sunlight.
The gods must have plans for them here too.
Nicely done. In your face.
Is that the last of them?
One would hope.
Watch ahead. Righto! Finish it!
Oh, Valara. I got you, girl.
Got him!
Since when did the Untough fight alongside undead?
Maximum level reach.
They must have tied the Qun into knots justifying Buzz Carter as allies.
Right, the maximum level reach. Nice. I may have to rethink some of my things if I've reached the max level. Upgrade control abilities. Control is cooldown is 20 seconds faster. I do like the 20-second cooldown faster. Stagger from weapon tops plus 20%. Use light of every attack after perfect defense. That's fine. Level 50 is the max. Okay. Before the end of the... Before we get to the point of no return, I may reallocate a few things, make some tweaks in my skill choices, but for right now, utility dress. Let me just back up and make sure I got everything else leading up to this explored. I think I rushed into this area a little too quickly, a little too prematurely. Oh, yep, that's why I checked. Scout's Compassion. Nice. What's the story behind this? Huh. Maybe this will explain it. Elegy to a dead spirit. Sketched on living bark, these Veilfire runes impart the sensations of both ancient dignity and piercing grief. That which is ephemeral changes the ephemeral in others. The light of being never goes unseen. Far-sown memories remain, though you are no memory. What endures now has no name, save yours. Oh, and then we have a whole bunch of... we already did that one. Companions. Harding. Nice. And Balara. Okay. Here to groan.
Lace, you grew up among humans, right? Do you believe in the Maker?
Come to think of it, I don't know anymore. But I don't think an indifferent god is better than an evil one.
Okay. The Cathedral of Roots. When we first started, this was a safe place for spirits who joined our cause to find peace from the stress of battle. Now, I don't know. Not a lot of spirits use it any longer. Have they grown stronger, or has the fight against the Evanurus made demons of us all? Valasan. It's very profound, Valasan. Another puzzle. this altar. Okay. What do we have over here? This way? Okay. This way. Aha. Now this is the part. How do I get over there? Do I need another statue? Oh. I think. Okay. This probably. I think there's another statue over there. I think, if I remember correctly. So do we have to line up? There's glowing lights. Do I have to point it towards the glowing lights? Oh wait, there's a ladder here. The Trickster Wolf. A pantomime theater mask of Fen'Harel. His narrative role changes with the curse of perspectives. He has many faces as names. His arrival is as much profanity as prayer. Okay. I figured it was going to be towards there. The area that we can't get to. Figured as much. Towards there. I'm pretty sure these statues have something to do with it. I'm just not sure what's the magic of. Huh. Do you see how that turned green? This light turned green. It's still green there. All the lights are green though, right? Do we need to have them face each other? If I push this way, it's still green. This place is to be full of spirits who flock to solve its cause, when it's just wrong and everything. I was hoping that gave a clue as to how to face the statue. See, these statues I can't move. That one's pointing that way. I go like this. Ah! So I did have to make them face each other. Aha. Just like in the lighthouse. Okay. That wasn't very intuitive.
Breakthrough!
Great.
The Antom are trying to cut us off!
Let's see what they're defending!
You all.
Great job, Rook! Ready to go!
There we go.
Good work, everyone.
Nicely done. Okay. Let's go hot. What did that do? We have to match up there, so I have to go all the way here. Fortunately, there's a bridge. That makes my life a lot easier. Let's try this. This should do it. Hopefully another bridge gets built. Thank you. Mystery solved. Okay.
There.
Oh!
I'd say that's where we're headed.
For anything else. It took me a little while, but I eventually figured it out on my own. Ooh, the owl.
Get ready.
Let her in. Nice. We do get a skill point, extra pin skill point from Fen'Harel. Performing a takedown grants 250 health and 20 ultimate. Thanks.
Tell this statuette is the real thing, a memory fragment. And not just because it was very well guarded.
I feel like we've done virtually everything in the Crossroads. I mean, I may have missed... There's chests and stuff. Yeah, there's chests and stuff. But I, for the most part, got most of the things. So let's go back. I got most of the things. Nice. Back to the lighthouse. Feel good. Feel very accomplished. Hello, you two.
So,
Yes, indeed.
elves came from spirits.
So,
Incredible revelation of what happened thousands of years ago.
I asked Davern what he thought, and he just shrugged.
He would.
yeah, he would.
How are you doing, Tosh? Sleep well last night?
Oh.
You were there. You tell me.
Oh. Ooh. Oh, I love this. I love this. This is my kind of tea. That was glorious. Me and Zen, we are so nosy. I'm getting all sorts of mixed up. It's like Nev's house, Nev's room is over here. Why am I going that way? It's like that's Harding's.
I just want a hot bath and one night to look through my notes.
A hot bath. Lucanus, that sounds like a great idea. Let's see you and me take that hot bath, like Nev recommended. I say we take... Hello, you
Is
two.
it strange for you, Davrin? Being alive after Weishaupt?
I still don't know what to think.
Word among the crows is that few Grey Wardens have ever faced an archdemon and survived.
I could feel some kind of energy when my blade struck. I thought that was the end.
And now that it isn't?
I'll grow old with a griffin.
Aww. I hope I do too. Speaking of which, hello, Sean.
Hey, Asa.
So cool. Love being able to pet that darling griffin. Alright. Let's unclock the last two regrets. Mythal?
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
The dagger. Yes. The dagger.
Solus made the weapon that killed the Titans.
This thing
No,
right here.
Not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. An entire race left worse than dead. How could he even look me in the eye?
That is interesting. That explains why the dwarves cannot dream. Because they were severed from the Fade by Solus. Mind blown! Everything! It all makes sense! Everything is coming together. How like him. No wonder he feels guilty. How could he do that? I'm sorry, Harding. No wonder he feels guilty. How could he do that? I'm sorry, Harding.
I don't know what to say, Lace. I can't even imagine. I'm so sorry.
I served in the Inquisition. I know terrible things happen in war. But to do something like this...
The Titans were the size of mountains. I doubt the elves were winning their fight. He considered this the cost of saving his people.
Fear and guilt make people do stupid things.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solus.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solus regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't.
Oh,
That's
really?
not possible.
Really?
When Warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The Song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
That is fascinating. So the calling, the blight, is actually coming from the Titans? Which makes sense, because it's calling them to the deep roads, which is where the Titans... Oh, the lore! Everything is falling into place! And I was like right there in front of me, and I didn't see it. It was right there. Can we fix the blight? What about Darkspawn? Can we fix... I want to say all three of these. I'm curious about all three of these. These two in particular, though. What about the Darkspawn? Because we know what the Andrastian faith says Darkspawn came from. Darkspawn were because of the people trying to reach the Golden Palace and etc., and that was like the first people who attempted to do that became the Darkspawn. But we know a little bit differently. Can we fix the blight? Here, I'll ask this.
If the blight is the Titan's dreams, can we...
Titan's dreams.
I don't know. Heal it? Bring it back from all that anger?
I'm afraid I have no idea. In theory, it would be possible to restore dreams to the Titans.
You can't set it free before it's healed. You'd have blighted Titans laying waste to the entire world.
That's
The
true.
Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgar'nan and Ghilan'nain to deal with now.
And then I want Solus to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
Did you hear what Lucanus said? Witness the fifth memory of Fen'Harel. What Lucanus said was, the Titans are a problem for later. I think, or along those lines. The Titans are a problem for later. Right now it's the Evanuris, Elgar'nan and Ghilan'nain. So, are they... They must be foreshadowing the big bads, or the villains, or the conflict for the next Dragon Age game. Or perhaps a future Dragon Age game. That's... Right there is where they sowed the seeds. That's super cool. Wow. My mind is just... all over the place, firing at all cylinders. I'm actually kind of happy that I am doing all of this in one go, because it's just like one right after the other. Everything is just falling into place, like I said. Getting all the puzzle pieces in at once. This is his regret. Is this what happened in the last scene of Trespasser, I think?
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god. The strength that I alone still carry.
That's what this is what we saw. Okay.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the elven people? They deserve it.
The elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
This makes perfect sense. They're about to talk about it, but I'm gonna mention it more if they don't explicitly
Solus
say
killed
things.
Mythal?
Yep.
After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
Recent.
He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition.
Yes.
We
Recent.
knew Solus woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I believe it was the very last scene, like end credit scene, of I don't remember if it was Trespasser or the main story, the main campaign in Inquisition. It doesn't matter. Some post-credit scene, they showed that happening. They showed Solus killing Mythal, and a lot of people theorized it was to steal or to take Mythal's power so that he could do all the stuff that he's trying to do. And the thing that has been heavily implied, especially confirmed now, is that Flemeth, Morrigan's mother, Flemeth is Mythal or an incarnation of Mythal. Somehow the powers or spirit or whatever you want to say of Mythal is within Flemeth, or Flemeth and Mythal are one and the same being. I don't know. And we see a scene where Mythal was, or Flemeth was casting something into an Evanuris, or sorry, not the Evanuris, into an Illuvian. She was casting a spell into the Illuvian, and you see Solus essentially kill Flemeth or kill Mythal. And so that was very validating to hear that a lot of people's theories on that were correct. Another interesting theory is that when Flemeth/Mythal was casting a spell into the Illuvian, people were wondering if that was actually her casting a spell, or was she transferring part of her spirit, part of her power, part of her being, transferring some of it out of herself into the Illuvian because she knew that Solus was going to kill her. And so maybe there is a piece of Mythal, a piece of Mythal's spirit somewhere in the Fade, because she knew that she was ultimately going to get killed and murdered by Solus, her love. Wow. I don't know what I believe about that theory. I think it'd be cool and interesting, especially because I really love the character Flemeth. And so if Flemeth/Mythal could appear in a future Dragon Age game, that would be the way to do it. That would be the way to explain it. So, interesting. So what I'm getting at is virtually everything bad about Thetis, the Blight, the Evanuris, like the breach in the wall, all of those essentially is Solus's fault. essentially Solas's fault. And that's why he feels so guilty. That's why he's so obsessed at fixing things. And I like what Mythal said at the end, is that he's not doing this because it's the right thing to do. He's doing this so that he can stop feeling guilty. Like, I think he's telling himself or trying to validate all of his actions because he's saying he's doing things for the greater good. But in reality, Solas just... It's selfish, actually. He is selfishly just wants to feel like he is making amends of discretions from the past and fixing things that he broke. And not necessarily because... okay, I think he does care about the people to the point that I do think he feels guilty once again when he was trying to do that ritual at the beginning of this game in Tevinter, in Minrathos. He did feel guilty about what he was doing because it was probably going to kill a whole bunch of people, but he was trying to mitigate the number of casualties. He was trying to mitigate it. But, you know, the ends justify the means, and by that I mean he cares more about his guilt and getting rid of his guilt than he does about saving the world. I think that's really what it is. Because Mythal was like, what is the point of essentially fixing something that isn't as broken as he thinks it is? Because he's like, the elves don't necessarily deserve what you're trying to sell them. They don't really deserve what you're trying to give them, because the elves have evolved and they've kind of, everyone around the world has made do with the stuff that they're the cards that were handed to them by him. Does it make sense to completely burn the entire world and rebuild it again from scratch just because he thinks that's the best way to... He thinks that is the ultimately good way to go about it, you know? I don't know. It's an interesting argument, because I could also play devil's advocate and argue it in a different way. A lot of people have major debates about, here in America, what we did to the indigenous people. It's almost Thanksgiving during this recording, and that is a very dark, one of the many dark parts of American history is how we ended up treating and essentially like betraying the indigenous people who rightfully were here before Americans were here, rightfully. And we did them dirty. We did them so dirty. And now, here we are, many years later. America is thriving as a country, and the indigenous people, the Native Americans, however you want to refer to them, had to pay a price for stuff that our ancestors did to them. Somebody could, you know, if you were trying to put this in Dragon Age Solas terms, somebody could rise up and just, like, burn down essentially what we know as America and somehow magically provide all of the indigenous people, just give them a chance to reclaim the country of North America again. Just reclaim the lands and screw over everybody else who had zero guilt, as in, like, none of us living now were part of what happened in the history. You know, it's not our fault, you know, that our ancestors did that. And, you know, somebody coming in and say, well, it's the indigenous people, the Native Americans, deserve it after all that they've had to endure throughout the years. It would fix things if we were to just burn things down, wipe everything clean, and let them regain the glory that they deserve to have. And I can see that argument as well, because why should they still suffer for things that they happened before if there was a way to quote unquote fix it? So very interesting it's not, there isn't a, I can't go completely to one side or the other. It's a bit of a gray area for me, this topic, because I of course sympathize with people who are oppressed, who don't have power, and how the history books are written by the victors. You know, history is written by those who win, and the people who win in the end tend to justify their actions in their history books to make it seem like, well, this was what we had to do because we're the good guys, or this is for the greater good, or etc., etc. And there can definitely be another side to it and another interpretation to it. So deep, so interesting. This is why I really love the lore of these games. He loved and blamed her. He needs to be right. And all that gets us. I'm gonna sympathize at least.
Every big mistake Solus made is tied to Mythal. He sacrificed his life as a spirit to join her.
He sacrificed his morals when he created the dagger to stop the Titans.
When the other gods struck her down, he destroyed the Elven Empire to avenge her.
Then he wakes up in this world, where everything's gone but his mistakes. And there she is, alive.
And after all he's done, she sides against him again.
All these mistakes are his fault, and hers too. If she won't help him fix the world, of course he has to kill her.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the Veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Yeah.
Mythal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgar'nan is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solus thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
That's exactly what I said. The history books are written by the victors. He's wrong, but not evil. He's smart, but we know him. That works for now. He's wrong, but not evil.
Solus has caused a lot of damage, but he's not like Elgar'nan, trying to wreck the world to rule it. He's trying to repair the damage he caused, and he knows he's made mistakes. There might be hope for him.
You don't think he'll turn on us?
Oh, I think you totally
no,
will.
he's totally going to turn on us. After that.
Yeah, after that.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller. Almost to its end.
Because we're about to do the end.
How can there be more?
Because we're living it.
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
She. Witness the sixth memory of Fen'Harel. Okay. Meet Morrigan in the crossroads. Boy. Which is interesting. Now I understand why Morrigan is heavily invested in this story. If Morrigan discovered... Well, she knows. Morrigan realizes that her mother was Mythal. Of course she's going to be involved in all of this. Wow. I'm wondering if... Oh, I just thought of something. You remember that theory that I mentioned about Mythal transporting or pushing some of her spirit or energy into the Illuvion? Maybe. I was wondering as to where, if that's what actually she was doing, where was it going? Maybe maybe it went to either Morrigan, or Kieran, if Kieran exists. By Kieran, I mean, Morrigan's spoilers, but for those, this is spoilers from Dragon Age Origins and Inquisition. Kieran, if you do the Dark Ritual, whether a male Grey Warden or Alistair, who is a male Grey Warden as well, your male Grey Warden or Alistair ends up having a baby with Morrigan. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Well, I'm curious to find out what she has to say.
Hey, I'm glad you got her back. Katarina.
About your mother.
Hey, don't. You helped your grandmother. She's proud of you.
Not that she'd ever show it. Your mother was proud of you too.
She knew who I am.
That's very sweet. Ooh, we actually got something from Harding? Okay. I'm actually surprised. Harding... What triggered that? I've come back and forth, and I don't believe she's wanted to talk to me for a while, so... Oh, hi. What's going on?
Hey, Harding.
Oh, Rook, hi. Is there something you need?
You had the... No, there was an exclamation point on your head. I assumed there was something you needed. Oh, Balara made snacks.
Balara made snacks. Seems like you could use one. Food always makes me feel better.
Is this because of the Titan reveal?
I could use some cheering up, actually.
It's Solus's memory, isn't it?
Was the war really the elves' fault? Neither the elves nor the Titans knew what the other was. I just don't know how to feel.
I really can't tell you how to feel. Yeah.
I won't tell a small, probably angry Titan how she feels. She can feel however she wants.
Right. Feel however you want.
Thanks. You're the best.
Oh.
It's strange. I don't hate Solus for this, even though a part of me thinks I should. I don't even want revenge.
That's mature of you.
Revenge won't bring the Titans back. It can't erase what happened. And the Inquisitor thinks Solus can be saved. And I want to try.
I do too.
But I just want to talk. As equals.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's even capable.
Yeah.
In the Titan's heart, the Shade wasn't just angry. She was lost and lonely and confused. Solus didn't just separate us from the Fade. He separated us from each other. I wish I could make him understand what that feels like.
I do
Anyway, thanks for checking on me. I'll be all right.
I know. You're Lace Harding, child of Titans. You can handle anything.
Oh, shut up.
This is really appealing for me because if the next Dragon Age is about the Titans, I just will love a lot more focus on dwarves for a change, because it does seem like the last couple of games, this one included, have been very elven focused. And I get it, elves are very popular. I believe when they were doing the statistics of the races that people chose for their rook, humans by far was number one. No surprise there. I personally, as somebody who feels like being a human is boring since you already are a human in real life, but you know, it's the most popular race, followed by elves, and then Qunari and dwarves after that. I think dwarves actually were slightly used less than Qunari. So dwarves have, I don't know, I just feel like they haven't had equal footing. They haven't had a proper seat at the table as far as the main storyline goes with the last several games. So
it would be great. Action. Let me know if I can help.
I'm glad that we are getting a very good amount of dwarven focus, a good amount of dwarven focus thanks to the Titan reveals, especially with Harding. But it's still, this is still mostly Solus, Ghilan'nain, Elgar'nan, and the elves. They are like the main focal point, at least as far as the villains and the antagonists are concerned.
I must say, of all our theories throughout the ages, no one thought ancient elves came from spirits was very likely.
Wait, the Mornwatch knew?
Not at all. It was only one proposition amongst thousands, and not well credited.
You could write a paper for the Watchers, or both of us could.
What a wonderful idea.
I would read that.
We'll have some difficulty citing our sources.
Right, I guess Solus's memories are technically a diary?
Yeah, technically. Yeah.
It never slows down, does it?
Not really. Not around us. Okay. I'm kind of curious, especially now we're discovering a lot of Titan Dwarven-based stuff. Did we pick up a Dwarven decor from... I don't know if we did. No. I think there was in the... Meet Morrigan in the Crossroads. Okay. I thought we did. The Teven Crow's theme in the Lighthouse is beautiful. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Let's travel to Crossroads. I like bringing Harding and Balara because all of this Elven lore stuff, I think, and Solus stuff for Harding, Elven lore stuff for Balara. Learn more about Solus's memories. I want to bring these two specifically in my party.
Well met, Rook.
Well met, Lady Morrigan. What you got to tell us?
How
Exposition?
did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Illuvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Illuvians in general, yes, but not the Dread Wolf's Crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait. How do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dread Wolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
Something about spirits. This is probably what the Mornwatch would say. How should I know ancient elven magic? This is what a Mornwatch person like the Zen would think or theorize.
So, if Mythal was originally a spirit, maybe that's how she survived her body's death.
Very good. Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down to spirit, she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
So Flemeth, if I'm understanding what she's saying, Flemeth/Mythal was killed by Solus at the end of Dragon Age Inquisition. And her memories transferred over to Morrigan, which may be what she was pushing into the Illuvian. She was passing on her memories to her daughter, Morrigan. That makes sense. And I think I said that. Didn't I say that? I knew your magic was off.
You're Mythal. That's why the ambient magic around you is so fractured.
Such a flattering picture you paint of this ancient bond.
Right, because of her headdress. Her headdress now is Mythal's. Yeah. So Morrigan is now Mythal.
That was like how Elgar'nan and Ghilan'nain can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you, then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
I do. Okay. So I think this confirms it. Flemeth knew she was going to die, so she quickly passed on her spark, as Morrigan claims it, to Morrigan before Solus came and struck her down and absorbed her power. That's my interpretation. First of all, can you help against the gods? That's a
Do
big
you have
question.
information we can use against Ghilan'nain or Elgar'nan? Or Solus?
The last time Mythal faced Elgar'nan and Ghilan'nain, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right.
Okay. How did all this happen?
So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
Sounds incredibly weird. Zen's like, that sounds amazing. That sounds pretty awesome.
Wow. You woke up to a god floating over you.
'Twas a state between dream and wakefulness where strange things may happen to the spirit. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
Okay. So Flemeth, as we know her, is gone, is dead. Okay. And Morrigan now lives on as... Yeah. So why aren't you Elven?
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance.
Not Fen'Harel or dwarves?
Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.